The spin out and the sound at the end of that gets me every time.
The music is wicked good for that.
Yeah, Jason
cool.
made that.
Yeah.
Kudos to Jason for making that.
Yeah.
So Glenn was definitely not mediocre.
That was great.
That was awesome.
Such a good character.
I was told flamboyant Lich doing their best to basically make up for what it took to be a Lich and what it continues to take to be a Lich.
I have no idea, actually. I do not know the lore of Lich.
So Liches to become what they are have to essentially, through multiple sacrifices of both their own souls and the souls of others, store their soul into a device called a phylactery. And as long as that phylactery exists, they cannot die. Despite how many times their mortal flesh be destroyed and
So
regenerated. Voldemort. Basically, yeah. It's like a Horcrux. It's where JK stole the idea of a Horcrux.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. No.
I can see how that could be a bad guy.
So typically, like if you're familiar with anything about the latest season of Stranger Things, Vecna is like one of the most well-known liches in D&D lore, because like he is just all-powerful and seeking to become essentially a god of the undead through his powers as a lich. But Glenn is just doing his best to live a happy life and lending a helping, decaying hand whenever he can.
Yeah, like liches essentially are assholes normally. Usually they're chasing power and they want to take things over from the general view. Other people view things differently. Jason and I were sitting around one day. He was at the basketball court and I was sitting at the desk working on prep. And I was hanging out with my other BFF, Mary Jane. And between me, Mary Jane, and Jason, we were sitting there having a conversation one day. And the conversation was, hey, Jason. He's like, yeah, Julie, what's up? And I was like, do you think a lich could be good? He's like, no, absolutely not. I'm like, for just because you said no, absolutely not, I'm making one be good. And thus, so the concept of Glenn the Good Lich was born, kind of like Glenda the Good Witch, right? Like, so I watch TikTok in my spare time, and Darcy Michael and his partner Jer are one of my favorite like TikTok creator couples. And Darcy is Plant Daddy. And so like when I was, thinking of how to build Glenn, it was that initial inspiration was literally like Glenn the Good Lich is not only Glenn the Good Lich, but he's just like this flamboyant gardener that loves his garden and his island, and everything looks so neat and nice. But the downside is his partner got exploded in an experiment long before lichdom and is now a flame skull. It was just a whole thing. That's what happens.
I love it.
Yeah, it happens. Happens.
It does.
In my head, Ben got impatient on their path to lichdom, and was like, "I know how to become a lich," and
yeah,
turned himself into a flame skull.
I love Ben's character too.
Their relationship is awesome. It is great. It's just.
It's the second beefing couple you guys have come across in my campaigns. Because the first one was Merlin and FGM. They were essentially Sharon and Ozzy.
Amazing. Oh, that's great.
Fairy Godmother and Merlin in Traverse Town.
So good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was really great. That's where they got the book to 100 Acre.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't...
Yeah.
Was I there?
I know I wasn't. So
Yeah, because it was Hale and Lala played Fairy Godmother and Merlin, and they did the Ozzy and Sharon bit. Where,
Yes. Fuck. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Ozzy and Sharon. That's enough said. That shit was amazing.
Mhm.
Ozzy and Sharon. So fucking good. I feel like they're not beefing, though. I feel like those are just, that's who they are. You know?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They're not beefing it up.
No, I've seen
Where's
enough.
my beer?
I've seen enough of this reality TV show to be like, no, that's just them.
Yeah.
That's just how they are.
Someone went in my room and stolen my beer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was
You
really
it's like you
good.
can't open your mouth all the way. Is the thing.
Someone's going in my room and stolen my beer.
Yeah, it's like the last two words.
All I know is next time we see Ben, I have riddles for him.
Hell yeah. Oh, Glenn will definitely like. I mean, obviously this is up to Huli on some things, but I feel like Glenn would just like send you things to your stone that will just like come up. It'll just like project out of it, and it'll just be like, "Try this one on Ben." It's like,
Payback.
it's just like
please.
stupid riddles.
And now we have like a group chat. I would like.
Group chat.
Group chat.
Yes, we need a Glenn group chat.
We're only this close. We're only this close to Glenn learning how to send minor illusions through, so he can send gifts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Well, so you do have your campaign roleplay channel, which all the guest stars do have access to, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. Oh yeah, absolutely. So you could definitely shoot messages back and
Sweet.
forth in that
Sweet.
channel.
I will definitely be taking advantage of that.
oh my
What's
gosh.
up, Ollie? You got your own
Hello.
weapon now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hello.
the frustration of you you trying to get us to say Keyblade.
Figure out how a Keyblade works.
I mean, obviously, like we know it's a Keyblade.
Yeah,
But-
I was like, but we've like
How
our
would
characters
Philly would never
seen a Keyblade.
Yeah. And I don't
True.
think Rob ever played Kingdom Hearts, so the Keyblade reference is also lost on him anyway.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh hello.
That's fair.
Well, Kingdom Hearts is a video,
video
game.
game.
It's basically Final Fantasy humped Disney and they had a baby, and now you have Final Fantasy Disney equals Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts.
Okay.
That's
And
It's wicked
but
fun.
It's
essentially
so fun.
every world has a every world has a heart, a metaphorical spirit of the world that is locked away inside it. And for that lock, there is a key, and that is that world's Keyblade.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you have Cloudy Day, which is an umbrella that does feather fall a number of days equal to your proficiency bonus. If you
Okay.
hold it from
Number of times per day. Yeah.
Yeah, number of times per day equal to your proficiency bonus. So,
So
like
I
if you hold,
float down like.
yeah, if Mary Poppins,
I like
or
it.
like Dumbo with the feather in his trunk, you know.
Okay.
You also have Thunderclap, that is a number of times equal to your proficiency, same as Featherfall. Thunderclap is a cantrip. And then when you use it as like a regular weapon, holding it by the handle that's not the crook, the opposite end, where it's like a Hagrid's wand upside down kind of thing, it does 1d8 bludgeoning damage and 1d4 thunder damage,
Okay.
plus your modifier for whatever your strength. I think it's strength. So it is a weapon that will evolve with you as you kind of level up. So now
Okay.
it just does Thunderclap because you guys are only level 4, level 5-ish. But eventually it will change from Thunderclap to something bigger, Thunderwave, cloudy, stormy shit.
Earthquake.
Yeah,
Mm.
Tempest Cleric thing. So it'll
Earth.
grow with you.
Right
Now,
underneath
Hey.
3M's
Huli,
tower.
question for you as the DM. I don't want to like step on because I don't know how much you have planned for these things.
Don't do it.
Well, I'm not gonna like give things away. I'm just
Don't
asking
do
things
it.
about the Keyblade. I'm trying to make y'all's life easier.
And
So, Keyblades in the lore of Kingdom Hearts. First of all, could it be a versatile weapon? So, like, if he wanted to use it two-handed, it could be a D10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. And you'll still get the D4 of the thunder damage. They are also how all spellcasters who are Keyblade wielders cast their spells. So
Yeah, like your
also,
spellcasting focus.
Arcane
so this is
focus.
also a spellcasting focus.
Okay.
So if you've got any spells, you can cast it through that.
Oh, I got spells.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Exactly.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
it's Morton.
Yeah, well, Hooli lets me off my leash, and
Yeah, I do that. Literally, it's like that with every guest star that I have. Like, I give you guys free reign because, like I tell you all, whenever you come in and you have your initial meeting to join staff, it's like our NPCs are non-party characters, not non-player characters. So there is a player behind it. I never know what my players at my table are going to do, say how they're going to react, aside from their like normal taglines. I also don't want to know how NPCs are going to do, say, react, aside from whatever little things that I know that they know because I told them they know that. And if there's a sheet, which I was really terrible about getting Robin a sheet for a lich today, I'm very sorry. But if there's a sheet, making sure they have their sheet. But aside from that, I always say, like, if you tell me your aunt's third cousin twice removed on your dad's side is the inventor of toaster strudel, that is canon for the campaign, and that is how it is going to be. So some stuff gets written into my campaigns as the NPCs come along because they each add their own little piece of something to the story. And I think it's an extra fun way to do it because it's like this little thing that one person 14 sessions ago said to you guys hangs on for 3/4 of the campaign. And it's memorable of that NPC to add that chunk into the story. It's like a living story, and I like it. I like it like that.
yes,
It makes it more fun.
it's very awesome. And you let me have a character that can do mage hands and cantrips at will. So I mean,
Oh
was
yeah, how do
gonna-
you
it
think I
was gonna-
feel being a lich? Like that's please.
yeah. We were gonna start doing some stuff if I didn't have to go. So that. We'll see.
No, I'm looking forward to working with my former lover more. So
I
Yeah.
caught a little bit of that as I was going out. I'm like, I gotta go, and then I went, what? Ooh.
Ben and Glenn were estranged at one point or another, but in their equal pursuit of lichdom, Ben thought, "Oh, well, I know how to become a lich," and tried a shortcut, and now he is the way he is.
And exploded Ben.
But he blames it on Glenn because Glenn supplied the materials that
fault?
were involved.
Yeah, it
was Glenn's
Glenn's fault. Yeah.
Glenn's fault. Glenn blew up Ben totally, completely.
Well, yeah,
And
there's two
who's
sides.
gonna have to? Yeah,
There's the three sides to every story, right? Yours, mine, and the truth, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
it's like Glenn has one version of the story, and that actually is specifically how we communicated between me and the two NPCs. Glenn has one story of how Ben became a lich, and Flame Skull, and Ben has another story of how he became a Flame Skull. So Glenn's is like, yeah, we were trying to do this thing together, and this fucker did this thing. And Ben's like, no, Glenn blew me up in a failed experiment. I did no such thing.
that's
like-
right. That's right.
I'd be mad if I was Ben too.
When I said blow me, I did not mean that, Glenn. And then he storms off.
Well, look, we're going to need a signal because, like, it's either one.
I
With
think-
you, I never know.
I have to
Oh,
play
boy.
you guys this reference also that Robin so recently supplied me with in whenever we were talking about developing Ben or Glenn, I mean, hold on, I'll play you this YouTube one second.
Oh, that was good. This is gonna be fun.
It was
yeah, this is
very
what-
amusing.
This is where I got my line.
1 second, hold on. Let me share the YouTube here. We're not monetized on YouTube, so they can fuck all the way off for copyright infringements.
Hopefully someday we'll get some moolah. Moolah for Morton.
Morton.
Okay.
Oh,
Can
this
you
is
deceivers?
yeah.
You dirty bitch!
Can you hear this?
Look what you've done to my
Yeah.
peonies!
You can take your lovely peonies, and besides, you silly queen, they're not even peonies. They're marigolds.
Oh, marigold
I
reference.
think she's right. They are marigolds. I may not know my flowers, but I know a bitch when I see one. Oh.
So that's the energy I was trying to bring here.
Yeah.
I think
That
it
was,
worked.
that was epic. You were doing a great job. That was awesome.
Thank you. It was wonderful to work with all of you, but Ben, you're very good.
Diva Lich.
Thank you.
A
Diva
diva
Lich.
lich, yes.
Yep. Yep. Oh my gosh.
I love it. It's like I said, I was sitting around hanging out with Jason. Jason was playing basketball. You know how he does. He'll jump in voice chat. A lot of times when I'm working at my desk during the day, I'm sitting in voice chat, whether I'm listening to music or somebody will pop in, whatever. Jason was playing basketball. He jumped in. So I asked him, Rob, I said, do you think a lich could be good? And he said no. So I was bound and determined to prove him wrong that a lich could be good.
We're gonna
And
make
he's
the
like-
goodest lich ever.
Yeah, well, because
Out of
I mean,
spite.
right, realistically, right, the way a lich becomes a lich, as you explained, like there's a lot of death that happens of unwilling individuals to fill your phylactery. That is not a good thing. But that also doesn't mean that you can't, as a lich, realize, hey, I did a bad thing to get to this point. I want to rectify that. Let me now do all of these good things. And when I come up for Lichdom contract review, I'm going to say fuck off. I'm going to disintegrate and I'm going to live happily ever after in whatever afterlife that I believe exists. Why can't that be why can't that be a thing? It's definitely a thing, and we're making it happen.
I feel like Glenn's meeting with the Raven Queen is a couple of centuries off.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of there has to be a reckoning
Quota
eventually
needs
for
to
that
meet
lich.
every year.
No
Yeah,
matter
there-
what.
There has to be a reckoning for, especially for a lich who was offered lichdom by some higher power upon, completing said rituals, and going against the higher power's wishes for you to continuously funnel souls to them and to keep you alive. So Glenn's going to face the music of his crimes against humanity at one point, and it's going to be a day that he knows is long since coming, but he's also spent centuries trying to get back to a point of humanity, being able to taste BLTs and drink liquor.
No,
BLTs, man.
it's the goal.
Oh,
The
man.
goal.
I've been having some amazing BLTs because we have the garden tomatoes that just come in.
Oh, Glenn, what do you
Nice.
think of what Glenn's got in his garden?
Well, yeah,
I know.
it's hilarious. The garden jokes kill me because I'm a big
it's just like
gardener.
heads of lettuce and like tomato plants.
Yeah, whenever Ben said Glenn was a terrible gardener, you missed. So last week, it was Ben's day off. So the beginning of the session was about 15 minutes of Ben going and doing flame skull things in Ashbone, where he went around terrorizing folks for amusement his one day off a year, and that's what he chose to do. And he had caught wind from the fairies that the adventurers of the hand were coming, the chosen were coming. And so he's like, oh, I'm going to go meet them before they meet me. And so he went and terrorized them and made them think that squirrels were throwing acorns at them at their camp. And then that's when they traveled on Thursday. They had to turn left on Thursday. So they had to sleep on Wednesday night. And they got terrible sleep Wednesday night because they were being terrorized by Ben. And then that's when they went and pushed Ben's call button, because Ben has a button. You just push the button. and
Many
Ben calls.
times.
Yeah, Philly jumped on the button. when a kid like rings your doorbell 100 times, that was Philly ringing the doorbell 100 times. Like every time Ben would go away, Philly would jump on the stone again. And at one point they started getting Ben's voicemail.
Why do I feel like Philly has a DD like obsession with buttons?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Just yeah.
Both metaphorical and real buttons.
Yeah.
I like to push.
You know what? It comes with the territory. I like to push buttons too. Usually they're Chris's buttons, but they're still like so it's just part of it. Oh, he just makes me kissy faces. He doesn't I think I'm annoying to him, and he's just like, no, you're a princess. You're not annoying. And I'm just like, but I'm really annoying though.
He has to say that.
He doesn't have to. Do you have to say that?
He's a Southern gentleman, for God's sakes.
He is very much. He really is. He is an only child raised by a single mother who beat into him, be good to women.
That's like
did.
me. That's like me. I never said the B word until I was like,
oh no,
I
Chris
heard too many
does
rap
not.
music.
He won't. He doesn't even say. He does not say bitch or anything like that. He won't even call his fucking punk ass ex-wife a bitch. She's a cunt and a half. Like she's a cunt and a half, and he will not even talk shit. He just is like, yeah, she could fuck off, and I'm just like, you're so
Wow.
So
That's like one of those weird
it.
elder things, like, you know, mind flayers and stuff. Cunt and a half. It was one of those, like one of those weird comes out of.
Yeah,
This one's whole and this one's half one.
I think I was born to be British because cunt is my favorite word. Really, honestly.
That's like the only swear
Oh,
word I
well,
don't really use.
Australians use it as like a term of endearment. Like they say it to each other, like we say bro.
Yeah.
Chris said you were describing his ex-wife perfectly, Michael. Would you
Out of the darkness and birth.
I love it.
That's another word I never invoke. You know?
What?
Like,
I
it's
don't-
You were-
I just
The
don't say
C
it that
word.
often.
Oh
I
yeah,
would
no.
say
Listen,
that's like very strong.
I'll tell you why it became my favorite word. I have an egg donor, right? My biological mother and I have a terrible relationship, and she absolutely hates the word cunt. And it was one of the only ways I could get under her skin because she was a crackhead and she got under her own skin. So I had to figure out my own ways. And so I religiously would say that word, and it became my favorite. And here I am now, still a
With
rebellious
this guy.
teen. Here I am. A rebellious teen in my 30s. Such is life. And there you go.
Oh goodness.
I'm just
I didn't hear it very
Oh,
often.
gosh.
I didn't hear it very often until The Boys.
Yeah, the
It was
boys.
like The Boys.
Oh yeah, he says
Yeah.
it a lot in the
I've
boys.
never
And I'm
watched
going,
that show.
okay, now. Yeah, there you go. That makes sense.
Butcher.
I
They
never
say
watched
it. They say it a lot on like British TV. Like Skins used to say it a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skins used to say it a lot. In Betweeners, I used to
Yeah.
watch that, and like they used to say it a lot.
I played a lot of mobile games before I actually got into D&D, Mobile Strike and Game of Thrones. I played a lot, like religiously, and those are international games. And a lot of times I would end up on teams with, people from Europe and things like that. And getting in those voice chats with those guys, you hear, like, if you're not, like, Americans are not thick-skinned. We do not call each other cunts and shit like that as, like, what's up, my G. Like, we're not thick-skinned. The banter that comes from, European folks is what we consider like harassment and bullying because we're soft, tender little babies. And so to play with those guys and even to be on their team, it's like you have to have thick skin because they will talk shit to you.
Yeah,
And
it's fun though.
I'm just
It's hilarious.
It's a lot of
Yeah, once you're used to it, you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
just talk shit right back to them. You just talk shit right back to them.
Yeah. Yeah,
And they
coming
like
from-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot of that. That's very much, oh my goodness, I'm brain farting it right now. It's the barbershop scene from Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood. And he comes in and is all like, so what the hell's wrong with you? And the barber's like, well, I didn't think I'd see your ugly ass shit ass in here again. And, and they just go back and forth. And the young kid that Clint brought in there's like, we're going to die. We're going to die.
Oh,
Somebody's buddy, we're gonna die. Oh my god, because these two guys are just going. And then, after a while, you smile, and it's like, yeah, that's normal for me. I mean,
How we
sure.
greet
This
each
is how
other.
they talk to each other.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I show up for work or whatever we're doing, and I'm just like, what the hell happened to you?
Yeah, and
Worse
that's
than normal.
something
Wow.
I'm learning is like even just like a coastal US difference thing. Like on the East Coast, it's way more common to be like, fuck you, like kind of thing to whoever, and like shit on them kind of thing. But like West Coast people don't do that.
No,
Really?
oh my
No.
god,
all
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No,
Or
No.
sarcasm.
Yeah,
No.
sarcasm is even
Sarcasm
like
doesn't
as
go
a
over that
lot
good.
rarer
You know
on the
what?
West Coast.
And
Yeah,
like
That's
Colorado,
insane.
right? in
The West
Midwest.
That's
Coast
weird.
actually, I feel like, is a lot more forwardly polite than even the South, because the South polite is, oh, bless your
Condescending.
heart. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
condescending, right?
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
on the West Coast, I will say, like, obviously you have Karens everywhere. I don't care what anybody says. You're not getting more Karens in California than you
I
are
love
in
Karens.
Pennsylvania or Arkansas. Like, you're not getting them anymore there.
We need more.
But people are more like, they're much more in the area that I lived in anyways, they're much more in tune with like preserving the nature around them, so they're just like more nice natural people.
Yeah.
And they're like a lot easier to talk to than you would think, because I lived in north central California. I wasn't in the valley, anything like that, so I didn't deal with any of that valley girl LA shit. LA is its whole own beast. We don't have to talk about that. But like most people on the West Coast are super laid back and chill and would pretty much take their shirt off and give it to you if you needed it.
Yeah,
You know?
that's not happening in New England.
No,
Yeah.
you could get fucked in
You
New
step
England.
over your dead body. Like,
yeah, like if you're cold in Boston, you didn't dress warm enough. It's your fault. Bye.
You dummy, you should be prepared.
that accent is very interesting.
I think like if you could sum up Philly's thing is like, I'm gonna hold the door open for you, but if you don't fucking say thank you.
Oh yeah,
dude,
for
that's
sure.
100% canon for Katie, dude. Whenever you're driving and you let someone walk through, like whatever, if you don't give the little, I hate you.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate you.
give me the shitty white person. Like that's all I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's all I want.
Some
like
acknowledgement.
just do that. That's all
Yeah.
I need.
That's
just
what
to
I
know
love
I exist.
Which one is it? Oh my God, Kill Bill 2, when the Japanese or the Chinese master is talking about how, like, he's walking down the street and he nodded his head at somebody else, and they didn't nod back,
Did not bag and he just killed
and he
him.
plucked their eye out for that.
Oh.
Yeah. That's Massachusetts. I feel
Like in my horrible dark imagination, that's what I do to people. I like, you don't say hi, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
In my mind, I do.
I
that,
also
but
like
not
in
really.
Mass though, like if you do say hi to someone, like it's kind of rude to like go out of your way to make someone else have to respond to you.
To
Like,
like
you're
actually
trying-
say hello.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you
Yeah.
like wave to someone, like you're kind of a dick, because then the other person's like, great, now I gotta wave this fucker. Like yeah. That it's just like everyone
Like,
in Massachusetts, you do not speak, you have headphones on, you don't fucking look, you
Yeah.
don't look at anyone, keep your head down, pretend you don't hear or see anyone, no one else exists.
Yeah.
That's just the way
There's
the
like a
Mass
car
life
burning with
is.
nuns in it. You're just
Nah,
like,
where I
Fuck
grew up,
off,
it's
keep walking.
exactly
I
the
need to get-
opposite.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
opposite here. Everybody's like, "Oh, hey, hi, how you
Hi,
doing?
cool
Yeah,
to know
I
you."
gotta fucking go. Bye.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
out of here. Like,
No.
I can't do it.
I can't tell you
know.
last time
Smile,
someone said
wave
hello
at
to me.
everybody.
no, I love that shit. I
Even
love
at
talking
work,
to
dude.
disrespectful.
Even at work, you don't say hello to people in the hallway. We walk dead on, lock eyes,
Yeah.
no smile, no nod, no hello, no nothing. Like, nah.
We always have to get the head nod. You either get
Yeah.
the hat tip, like walking,
Oh yeah, that was like the thing.
No.
Like,
you
as
get,
long
you get
as
a
you
hat
did the-
tip, or you get a chin. You get like,
yeah, a chin.
and
A
you have to
chin
look
was
at
like,
it 'cause-
was like
yeah, you either
that.
get a chin or you get a head nod or something, because otherwise it's like it's on. That person didn't
Yeah.
acknowledge I'm here. They
Yeah.
might try to murder me. I'm just like I've got my hand on my.
I need
feet,
someone
so I'm
else
like,
to reinforce that
you
I'm
get
actually
shot.
existing
We used
here
to-
because my paycheck
Yeah.
doesn't show it.
We used
Yeah.
to do the white people smile thing, but now everyone has masks on, so it's just
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just doing a
exactly,
fucking
yeah.
lie. You know,
Yeah.
You have to get more physical with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
you
too
gotta do
much.
like do the head nod. Or
That's
whatever.
too
Smile,
much
say
to ask.
hi, whatever.
Too much to ask of a large building. I actually purposely avoid specific hallways because out of fear that someone might say hello to me.
Oh, I
It's
can't
like,
imagine working
I
in a
literally
big
think we
building
have like
right
a
now.
couple of like really nice people that I actively gotta go down a different hallway.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Mm-mm.
I just
I
don't
used to do
really-
that when I worked retail.
You know,
With the
I don't-
customers.
retail makes sense. You know, I work in a hospital, so it's like
Yeah.
a little ruder.
See,
but it
I
is
work
what
at
it
a
is.
hotel and I know what parts to avoid during
Exactly,
the
yeah.
day.
That weird family's on the third floor. Just
Yeah.
go down the second floor, take the elevator, go back around.
Who's
They signed
honeymooning?
up-
Okay, just gonna avoid that one all
Yeah,
day.
We have a lot of regulars, and it's one of those like they'll tell us, "Oh, the May family's checking in," and we're like, "Oh," and so we need to not have them in any of our activities. Like we're not doing any of their favorite things. But yeah, it's always fun.
That's like the one thing that'll piss me off. Let me tell you, right? Like I worked customer service jobs for a very, very long time. And the one thing that will trip my trigger faster than shit is rude customer service workers.
Mhm.
Cause like I did that shit for so long that I'm just like, I know people suck, but if I'm like genuinely going out of my way to be polite to you because I know everybody else around you sucks, I see your line is 50 people deep, like I'm trying to be nice and help you along and you're being an asshole to me, I'm probably going to try to throw some hands right there right quick because I don't have the patience for it.
You
Like,
like
don't be a dick.
apologize like 15 times for trying to buy a pair of pants. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm
That's-
here.
Oh, that's how I am too. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry you hate your life. I'm really sorry
Sorry.
that everything sucks around you right now. But like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
giving you a slice
Oh,
of
we
nice,
love the
like,
nice
return it.
people.
Yeah, no, I learned how to say it's fine very believably.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
we love the nice people, but there are just some.
I'm a nice. You'd love me. I'm so nice. I'm a good tipper, and
Yeah, that's me, right?
I'm nice to people. Even like it's just to a fault. Like
Mhm.
I'll just be so nice all the time. And
The
It's
one thing-
insane to me the amount of people here that like won't tip people
That's
a
so bad.
decent amount. Like the
Ooh,
amount
it's
of people.
infuriating.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
well,
Yeah.
hello, Catchy Can Trips with the raid for a party of 15. We
Hey.
appreciate
hello.
you.
Do you ever like see like go out with friends or whatever and you see like they tip shitty, so you like throw an extra like fucking $10 down on the
Yeah.
table?
I've done that.
You're like,
Yeah,
you're like,
tipping
oh
is-
shit.
I
I
maybe I
actually
should.
have a specific list of people I will not go out to eat with
Me too.
because they're terrible
Oh.
tippers and it's
Yeah.
fucking embarrassing. Or they're people that find something wrong with every little thing that
I
they
hate
have to.
that.
I refuse. There's people in
I
my
can't.
family that I won't go out to dinner with because they're embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
how are you
Same.
gonna? You know, there's like 3 other tables in the restaurant that have people at them. It's not a busy night, and you want to be just like this overly demanding asshole and be like,
Yeah.
she wasn't as attentive to me as she needed to be. Like,
I'm like,
sir,
stop.
give the woman her 20% and
Yeah.
get the fuck out. You did not
Yeah.
just walk away from a $100 bill with no tip. You're an asshole.
Oh,
Yeah.
That shit like really hurts your spirits too. If you've ever like served, I served
I
before
served.
my job, and like that shit, like the difference of like $2, like just kills your spirit. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you have
it's
like a small check, and it's like
Especially-
literally like $1 difference between like 15% and 20%. And you're like, fuck, what did I do?
The
Like, I
worst,
got you
yeah,
20 bottles of ranch.
yeah, and like exactly. Like the worst is when like you really invested your time into that table,
Yeah.
and
Nothing.
like you got them that ranch,
Yeah.
you got dropped a fork, you got a new one immediately,
real quick.
Or
and you
some
gave
guy-
me less than 20% on
12%,
an
10%.
$80
nothing.
check.
Yeah. Or they'll be like, wow, you've been so wonderful. And you're like, oh my God, I love you guys. Like, please come back anytime. And then it's like literally like $3 on $100.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck you. Never come back. I wish I'd take your picture so I could put it on the fucking door.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Asshole.
When I
Yeah.
moved to Arkansas, I took a sales job, which was the reason I moved. I happened to be I happened to be in sales when I lived in California, so I took a sales job in Arkansas when COVID hit and our company furloughed. I hated the sales job, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna find something else. And there was a pizza place hiring, and pizza like is my deep passion job. Like it's something I really thoroughly enjoy doing. The pay is shit, but I love making pizza. I love the crowd of people that you usually work with at a pizza place, and it's just a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. And so I took a job at a pizza place. They were hiring for management, and I am a forever manager everywhere I ever work. And so what they did in the company, they promote from within. So they put you on regular staff, and then they bring you up to manager, even though they're hiring for management.
She's a boss lady.
So when they hired me in, she put me as a server, and I was like, oh yeah, no big deal. And then like I worked for a couple days, and then like I went in one day and I'm like, hey, by the way, we never talked about like what pay is. $2.63 an hour.
Yeah.
Welcome to serving. That's what you make.
Yeah.
Everything else is
I was
tips.
scheduled a split shift that day. I was scheduled a split shift. I found out in the first split of my shift that it was $2.63, and I did not go back for the rest of my shift. I kept it full time.
63 is generous. I got $2.13 at one job.
I don't remember what I got.
That's what mine was.
It was,
That's-
it
I
was
make something
somewhere,
like that.
somewhere around like 250, 260, something like that when I was working at
And I would work.
Chili's.
Yeah. I'd work.
And they would
like-
always say, oh, we compensate for it if your tips don't add up to minimum wage. They didn't.
It's a
No,
No,
lie.
they don't. They
We
don't.
did.
Lie.
Tip
Absolutely.
share, which was great.
Oh fuck that.
Oh, fuck that. I was a bartender, and I hated getting my servers tips.
Listen,
Dude,
I worked
no.
for Domino's for a long time, and like the first couple of Domino's that I worked at, because I bounced around through our company as a GM when they needed them at other stores. The first couple that I worked for, the first franchise, they gave you, if you took the order, you took your own tips. So like if they tipped you on the order, you took them inside, right? And then like the drivers, they got their own. The next Domino's franchise I went to, the tips, you did not get any of the tips that were left. Those went straight into the safe. So any customer tips that were left inside, not to drivers got to keep their tips, but any customer tips that were left inside, the workers inside did not get. I wanted to fucking riot as a
That's
GM.
Gotta
gotta
be
be true.
illegal. I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Well, yeah, it is, but they didn't.
The business is
Yeah.
just like, give us some more
Yeah.
money, please.
But anyway, we've been on a real world tangent long enough. We had an epic show tonight. Some great guest stars. Really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you guys were awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
We're gonna
guys.
grab. We just pulled a raid in. This is our second raid of the night, which is fantastic. We appreciate you guys. We're gonna grab these raiders and we're gonna raid out over to. I think Hina is still alive, so we're gonna raid out over to GM Hina. She is part of our Rolling Together stream team. Fantastic person. They are playing some sort of tabletop RPG over there. I'm not sure which one. It doesn't say because Twitch only literally has D&D and all other TTRPGs. So.
Huh.
Essentially, like the rest of the universe, D&D is the one that everybody recognized when it comes to TTRPGs,
Well, look,
and that shit sucks.
It
All
looks
right.
like they have Coke. As far as like, if Dungeons and Dragons is Coke, we need to come up with Pepsi.
You need to bust out some OSR, get some original. That's
I'm
the good
all up
stuff.
on the OSR.
God, if you tell me to do
one-
FACO,
yeah,
I
I
will
will.
walk out.
I'm
Yeah.
dungeon mastering Isle of Dread right